Grab your Bundt pan, we're making Sock It To Me cake. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes and easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. Today we make the classic Sock It To Me cake, and it's diabetic friendly too. Grab your pen and paper, here come the ingredients. For a homemade cake mix, you'll need 2 1/4 cups flour, 1 1/2 cups sugar, or 3/4 cups Splenda sugar blend for my favorite diabetics out there, 3 1/2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of softened butter, which is 1 stick, 1 cup sour cream, which is an 8-ounce package, 1/2 cup canola oil, 1 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, and 4 eggs. If you'd like to make it with a cake mix from the store, it's very similar. You'll need 1 box of butter recipe or golden or yellow cake mix, whatever, 4 eggs, 1 cup sour cream, 1/2 cup canola oil, and that's it. No matter which cake mix you use, you'll need to make your streusel to go in the middle. Now that is 2 tablespoons of your cake mix, whether it's homemade or dry, and you just round it off, dump it in there. 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, and 1 cup chopped nuts. You just mix this all up, and this will go in the middle of your cake batter, and it's just yummy. See, look at that. For my diabetics, I forgot to mention that you can use 1 tablespoon of the brown sugar Splenda blend for your streusel. Remember, it's twice as sweet, so you don't need the 2. You'll also need a white glaze, which we call a white drizzle, which is 1 cup of powdered sugar, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk, and you just whisk that together. You'll need to prepare your pan. My favorite method is the 2 tablespoons of melted butter, heaping teaspoon of flour, mix it in. Coat your pan real good, but don't slather it on because that's kind of nasty, and that's all there is to it. In Big Red, I've got my softened stick of butter. I'm just going to beat it up for just a second. No big whoop there. Here are my 4 eggs. Put those in and give them a little beat. Here's my 1/2 cup of oil. Here's my 1 cup of sour cream. This is your secret ingredient for moisture. So is that 1/2 cup of oil. It can be canola oil, Crisco oil, vegetable oil, whatever oil. Not car oil. Mix that up just for a second. Slowly, please. Talk about that won't go away. All that oil and eggs. If you're doing the homemade cake mix, you need 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm not measuring it out. I'm just gonna, there's a little bit, and then just a little more. Because let me tell you, if a little bit of vanilla is good, then more is better. Here are all my dry ingredients, and we're just going to slowly mix it in. You've seen this several times, so I'm not going to go through this whole bit, but I just want to get you started. Be sure to preheat your oven to 350 while you're mixing up your cake batter. By the way, if you find that you have a few small pieces of butter in your batter, butter and batter, don't worry, because when it gets in the oven, it'll melt. Yummo. So here's the trick to making that streusel kind of float in the middle or top middle. You pour in about 2/3 of your batter. But if you're not that good with math, just pour about half. So here we go. Then I'm just going to spread this around just lightly. Just kind of make it even. I did taste it before, but just for you. Oh boy. That's slap your mama and every other person you can find good. Had a discussion with my mother just this morning because I've been experimenting with this. And I was thinking that you wanted to hide your streusel, but the truth is, you don't have to worry about it. I thought, oh, you have to spoon it in exactly in the middle of the batter so that it won't show on the outside. She said they just dump it in and they like the line. Well, it just happened to me and it's been so long. While we're at it, let's just kind of spread that around even. That's going to be so good, you just don't know. Unless you do. Now the thing is, you needed to save enough that you can cover this up. So that's why I said, if you're not that good at math, I wouldn't do more than half. And again, every bit counts, so scrape that bowl. Then carefully, just lightly, spread that around to make sure it's all covered up. And if things are not perfect, it's okay because it'll all come out in the wash once it starts baking. And if your streusel layer ends up at the bottom instead of the top or the middle, who cares? Because everybody likes this anyway. Mwah. Into your oven for 30 to 40 minutes. I would go ahead and just put it in there and not even look for 30 minutes because it's gonna take that long. But you know me and my extra insurance, you can check it at 25 minutes and then take notes for every 5 minutes till you get done. Write it in your cookbook, go back and watch the video. Let's talk cook times. At 40 minutes I was on the fence. When I stuck my little cake tester into the firm parts here, it came out clean. When I stuck it into this little crease here, it came out, slightly moist. I let it go for 2 more minutes, but not any more than that, because it was brown and it was starting to slightly pull away from the edges. You might be able to see those edges. It's going to cool 20 minutes in the pan, and until it does cool off, it will continue to cook just slightly. So there you go. You want to keep your cake moist. It's been 20 minutes and the cake has cooled slightly, recomposed itself. Now it's time to unmold it. Remember, you need to slightly separate it from the sides, just for good measure. You'd hate for it to stick, even though you've prepared the pan. And also do the middle just very carefully. Take your cooling rack on top of your pie pan and flip it right over. And I can tell that it unmolded successfully without even looking because it went perfect. We'll let this cool for 30 minutes or longer. You want it to be nice and cool room temperature because if you glaze it now, it'll just melt your glaze and it'll become transparent. And nobody wants that. Our cake has cooled completely, and now we're ready to make our white drizzle icing. We've got our 1 cup of powdered sugar. And diabetics, I don't know why you couldn't take half a cup of Splenda sugar blend, put it in your blender, and make powdered sugar that way, and then continue. You could experiment. 1, 2, that wasn't enough. Just when I was going to tell you, a little goes a long way, it didn't. Now, as always, you want it thick enough to stick and thin enough to pour. Maybe you don't want the white drizzle icing on your cake. In that case, if you like this recipe for Sock It To Me cake, a classic recipe from the 70s, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends who like to cook or just want to learn how. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experiences with this recipe and what else you'd like to see in the kitchen. Click the bell in the top right hand corner for notifications. I'm Jim Hightower, and remember, everyone needs help. Even me. Grab your Bundt pan. Welcome to Help at Home. I don't know who I am. If you like this recipe for delicious Sock It To Me, here.